Hey, welcome to a rough introduction to Auwgent. Auwgent is a domain-specific language for creating AI agents. When you look at these existing agentic frameworks like LangChain, ntroducing, and co, these are actually tightly coupled to some specific runtimes, which is either JavaScript or Python. However, Auwgent takes a completely new approach, which is we are having our own agentic language which describes the intent or the protocol, said that what the AI can do will be the same for every runtime or every programming language that they wish to develop their language in. Then how it should do it will differ from the other programming languages or the runtime they use. And to actually explain this, if you look at things like how to define a function in TypeScript, is different from how to define a function in Python. So how we should do it being different from across runtime is what I'm actually saying, but not how we compose fonts, not how we pass context or whatever. These things are actually going to be the same across every runtime if you use Auwgent. As I'm talking right now, Auwgent is actually in the alpha stage, which means those using TypeScript or JavaScript can go to npm, install it, then try it. However, we don't have any documentation yet, so I'm coming to do a very brief introduction or a rough overview of how Auwgent is actually used in real world system. So to get started, you need two things. You need the Auwgent CLI and the Auwgent SDK. So I'll just say ban add Auwgent SDK, and I'll wait for it to finish downloading. Then it's done. So where's the dependency? Okay, so we have the Auwgent SDK here. Then I'll also type um ban add Auwgent CLI. However, this is a div dependency, so I just leave it like that, dash d, to actually save it in a div dependency. Okay, so if you could see, this is just a very minimal setup here. There's nothing here. Now I've installed Auwgent, the CLI, and the SDK. Now to make Auwgent work, we need one more file, which is the Auwgent.yaml file. And the Auwgent.yaml file expects at least three things, which is the source, where you are going to type your Auwgent logic. So in this case, you will create a folder called say agents. Then output, which is where the compilation should go. So I will say generated. Then the target, which is the language that we are targeting. In this case, we are targeting TypeScript. So that's it. We are done. So I'll just create a new folder here. Say agents. Then a new file main.agents. Main.agents. So let me use the agent. To define an agent, we start with the agent keyword, followed by the agent name. So let me say customer care agent. And every agent at least needs a default config. And what this default config does is it takes the model that we want. So in this case, we are going to use Gemini model. It is Gemini 2.5 Flash. And a prompt. The prompt, I can actually do it like this, like anything like this. I can type anything here, but I want the prompt to be standalone, or I'm trying to modularize the code base. I know I can put everything in one single file, but as I said, this is a very rough overview, so I'm trying to cover a lot as possible. So I'll create a new file called prompts. I can even prompt or prompts. So prompts dot agents. Then I'll just say prompts, customer care prompts. Now, this customer care prompts, we can prompt them all because this is the system prompts actually. So I'll say, you are a helpful assistant. Please be polite. Sometimes we want to pass things like the username or the person, like some things that could actually help the model know that they're actually talking to this person, or these are the things this person have. So the prompts can actually take in a parameter. So I'll say username, and inside here I'll use this double way and say username. This means we are referencing it. So let me just say the name of the user is. So we are done with our very simple prompts, and let me export it. So back to the main dot agent, I'll come top here, then import customer prompts from uh, prompts dot agent or prompt. So let me leave it like that. Then here I'll just call it customer prompt. I'm going to get an error because the customer prompt needs a username. And in the agent's context, we can have something called context here. And what this context help us is at runtime, you can inject things that could help the model. So here I'm just saying at runtime, you inject the username. And to reference this username here, we will use the cts dot username to reference it. And that's it. We are done with our prompts and our customer care agents. However, agentic apps doesn't work like this. Agentic apps most of the times have access to tools or function calls. In Auwgent, how you define tool is either you use tools or tool. I mean tools, so you can have um to one, two, or you can just define them as normal tool like this, and you are good to go. So this case, the customer care, let's say a tool that gets all products. So gets all products, and this actually returns a product array. And this product array, let's define it. I can actually create a new file to trying to modularize the code base, but I hope now you've seen how we export and import items. So I'll just say type product here, and the product will have a name, a price, then a description. Okay, you let me make it a name and a price, and a tool have an optional description, but sometimes you can choose to omit it. But it's very good to add a description to help the model know which kind of tools to pick. So I'll just say This is used to get all the products. Let me define another tool called get products, which actually takes the product ID. So let me make it a number. Then here, let me put ID here to make it fair. Then it will return a product. I don't know why my VS Code is doing like this. Uh, this is used to return a single product. So right now we have an agent that at runtime we will have the username being injected into the system prompt. Then it has access to tools such as get products, then get all products. So I'll compile it, and to compile it, you use the Auwgent generate command. Let me delete here, then use another terminal. Auwgent generate command. And with the generate command, when you look at this side, you will see that you have a generate folder. Once we type that command and we've gotten the generated folder, it contains some stuff. And aside from that to how should I say it? The Auwgent generate also comes with the watch, so I can use the watch, say that I can add a description here, which is a string. And once I save, you see it has regenerated everything again. So that's basically it. We've generated it, and it is guaranteed that this specific portion isn't actually going to change. Yes, this the code that you wrote in the Auwgent DSL is not going to change. What is actually going to change at different programming languages or at different one time is how you should do it. So the how you should do it, we are now having four how you should do it, which is one, how to get access to the Gemini API key, how Python access the env or passes anything is different from how JavaScript will do it, how to define a function like get products or get all products, how you define functions in JavaScript and Python differ. So these are the things that will change, but not this prompt, not the agentic logic. Like it's going to be consistent across platforms. That is one of the assurance that Auwgent actually gives. So I'll continue into this, and let's first try to investigate the generated items. So the first thing it generates is the JSON schema, which actually describes the whole intent. So if someone wishes not to use our urgent runtime, the person could actually use this JSON schema to mimic the exact thing we are doing, or probably even do something better than what we are doing. And then when we come to this file here, we are having some pre-configured or pre-generated stuff for the user. So if you could see, we are having the product that we define in the urgent. We are having the context, who is the username. We are having the tools that we defined and the API key that is expected. As for the rest, you don't need to worry about. So what you need to import is this create customer care. So I'll just copy this function here. Then I'll just say import create y create customer care from generated slash main dot agent dot types. Now the the DS isn't really smooth. And that's why I would like to switch to what do we call a Z. I would like to switch to Z. I really like Z. So let me, because Z is very fast to me. So I really want to switch to Z. Let me close this terminal here. Then let me open the same index file. Now let me open this agent again. So right now, oh, there's no syntax highlights. I've forgotten I don't have any extension for here. So pardon me here. Right now, when you look at this agent here, it needs the Gemini API key. It needs these tools, then this context. So what we will do is you have type urgent config, and let me say const config cause urgent config. Now username Theophilus. Okay, so I'm supposed to get an error somewhere, but no worries, you'll figure it out. So with the urgent config, we are passing a context which is the username, the API key. I'm using ban. I don't know why I did this, but let's move. Then the tools, I'm passing this good. So I say I needed to get an error because we need, so get product, get a specific product, then get all products, uh, then get all products, returns all the other, which is the array of products. So let me make here also 0. Let me duplicate this. I don't know. As Samsung. Let me check the error. Expected words. Oh, so it was just a lengthy error. And I feel these tools here, it's too bulky. So I'm going to create a new file here to make it actually appear not too strange to you. So tools, I'll just import uh urgent tools. Then the whole of this, I'll cut it. Then I'll export this. So if you could see, like, we don't have anything like agentic logic or anything. It's not mixing a prompt or anything with it. These are pure JavaScript functions, um, things that don't cluster the agentic logic with the actual definition. Let me check the generated types again. Urgent. Oh, okay, type. So yes, I think that's it. So here I will import this to, sorry, I will import these tools here and say import tools from tool. So right now we are done with the configuration. Why? It will go. SC2 go. So right now we are done with the configuration. So if you look, let's reiterate again. This is a pure function. It doesn't have anything to do with Python or something. So that means if you are supposed to migrate to Python, you are going to write a Python code that resembles this function here. Nothing fancy, nothing anything serious. Then when we come to the index, we are passing a context, which is the username, so I'm Theo, then the API key, then the tools. So I'll come here and just say agent dot run, then I'll ask something like, hello, how are you? Now, to be able to get this, the agent actually returns a session. Though you won't be needing this once I show you the other ones, but this forms a basis of it. So I just come here then run index.ts. Oh, we won't get anything because we didn't console.log session. Let me just stringify this. So hello, how are you? We are going to get something here. And hello, Theo, I'm doing well. Blah blah blah. We are not interested in this. So let me comment this session out. We want to get a very clean output, and Auwgent uses something called intent architecture. So on the agent, I'll just say on intent. On intent takes a callback, which is the name and a value. And we have a lot of intents, and the intents are actually added based on what you did or what you used. So when I hover over it, you can see we have the error, two call, two results, two error, two skipped, then response text. So right now, if you look at this section here, the model use response text, which means the response text is just a normal way of the model responding to the user because of how our intent architecture works. So I'll just say if name equals response text, then console.log text.value, and these are actually type safe. So I'll clear the CLI, then run it again. Then this time, hopefully, we are going to get a clean output, which is hello Theo, I'm doing well, thank you. How can I assist you today? Now, we want it to go into the database or our dummy tool here to get us how do we call all the products. So I'll just come here. Hello, how are you? Please, can you get me all the products? And now for debugging purpose, when I hover over it, you could see that we have the ability to see the two calls that the model did, then the two results that the model, the two returned, and probably even the two error, and we can even skip a two if a model calls it. So for this demo purpose, I'll just say if name equals two call, I'm just going to console.log the two value to see the kind of tool the model is going to call. So I'll clear this, drag this up, then run it again. Sharp. So right now the model first of all called get all products. Then it responded a normal text. Let me add more debugging here. So to call response text. So it will run, then hopefully you'll get the same. So you see the tag that I added. So response text here to call. So here are all the products. I found Apple, blah 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 blah. Is there anything else I can help you with? And we can say it should get us a product with the ID 0. So get me the product with ID 0, and let's look at it too and see. You see right now it's called a get product. Then inside the ask it passed the ID. Then yes, we've gotten what we needed. So this is a very brief intro to Auwgent. Of course, there are a whole lot of advanced things that I can actually do, and we have things like middleware layer, or even skipping something if a model calls. So let me to call. So I can say if value, sorry, oh, why, oh, so value the type. This is wrong. I want to see what the value actually returns. Okay, value the type because gets products. So gets products. I don't know why. Oh, I don't know why. Value the type because you get products. You just return. Uh, I don't know. We can actually skip it. I'm actually overriding this. I don't know why. I can't do this. Oh, let me skip. Let me skip it rather than trying to override it. So skip equals to true. So right now, when it calls this get product, it's going to skip it. So see something here, and I run this. Nothing happened. There's a whole lot of things that we could do, and even when we skip, we could actually let the model know that we've skipped it. But because we skipped it, nothing happened because yes, you skipped it too. And we have the middleware layer. But as I said, this is a very rough intro to Auwgent. You can play with it. It's very easy to use. The moment you are able to set up this create customer care here on this agent here, you can see things like you can see whatever tenant is on it. Then you try to do. You can even inject context and stuff through the middleware layer. where is it? We have urgent middleware to the middleware layer and stuff. So thank you for your time.